going on, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you are new here, my name is Lexie. Thank you for joining. I'll pop my Instagram handle up above here. But I am going to make this just a vlog. I'm going to take you guys through some of my day, show you guys some of my go-to foods right now. I am deep into my building season, looking to start prep here at the beginning of the year. I'll show you guys my check-ins, my coach's response, all that good stuff in this video. So welcome aboard. I am actually getting ready to eat and then go train shoulders. So welcome to the video, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the footage. Okay, so I'm gonna show you guys my little creation with Psyllium husk powder. So it's kind of odd, but I'm gonna just share it anyways. So I'm gonna take you guys with me as I make it. So I first start adding my Psyllium husk powder in this bowl, just a serving, which is about 5 grams. So I have that in the bowl. That's what I'm gonna start with. And then what I do is I put a little bit of water in that. So just over here at my faucet. Okay, so then I put my Psyllium husk in the bowl, and then I add some water to it. I don't really measure the water. I just kind of saturate. I'd say like for the 5 grams of Psyllium husk powder, you want to definitely cover it a lot in water because the Psyllium husk will soak up the water. And then what happens is you're going to stir it up. You're gonna notice that it kind of becomes like a gel-like substance, right? That's what Psyllium husk does, is it gels up, kind of becomes like gelatin when you add water to it. So of course, like hasn't quite gelled up yet. You guys can't really see it, but it will gel up. And of course, like I could eat it like this, but that doesn't really, it doesn't taste like anything. So this is where my little Psyllium husk powder concoction comes in handy. So what I've been doing is I'll add some pumpkin puree. I'm literally obsessed with pumpkin recently. And not only that, pumpkin is a really good source of fiber too. So it has a couple grams of fiber in it. And it's really rich in vitamin A. So I am going to add about a half a serving. I usually add a half a serving of pumpkin, which is about 60 grams, so to say. You could add more though. Like you don't have to. You can play around with these ratios. So I'll add in my pumpkin. And then I'm also going to add in about a half a serving, which is about 3 grams of sugar-free pudding mix. I have the vanilla flavor right here. So I'm gonna add that in just for a little bit of sweet flavor. And then last but not least, 2 more things. I'm gonna add in just a tad bit of this PEScience plant-based pumpkin pie protein. So I'm gonna add in a 1/4 a serving, which comes out to about 8-ish grams, 7.58 grams. So I'm gonna add a 1/4 a serving. And like I said, these servings are really small. You can definitely play around with these ratios. It doesn't have to be like these exact measurements, but I'm just kind of giving you guys an example of what I am doing. So then, this is very optional, but I'm actually not gonna add it in this batch. You can also add in chocolate PEScience greens. They literally taste like cocoa powder, so it's a really good kind of additive. But then, of course, you're gonna mix the mixture once it's all in there. And I will turn the camera around and show you guys what this looks like once you mix it all together. And honestly, if it's not your desired consistency, you just can add water to make it your desired consistency. But I'm gonna turn it around and I'll show you guys kind of what like my protein, pumpkin, Psyllium husk concoction looks like. Okay guys, so it's not like the most aesthetically pleasing, but this is what the mixture looks like, and it does kind of turn out a bit more jelly-like and gelatin-like, and that's just because of the Psyllium husk. But that is what we are working with, and it's actually really delicious. I look forward to this every day. Friends, so it is check-in day. It is Wednesday. I just submitted my check-in to my coach. Basically, today, this week, my weight actually dropped a little bit the last few days, but I'm not surprised. I feel like my digestion has been really good. Well, I am kind of surprised because I actually have been pretty sore the past couple days. I've been training really hard. So I've been like really pretty like sore, not so sore to the point where like I can't walk, but just sore from a standpoint of just kind of tight, So that has kind of been surprising that my weight hasn't been up because of that. But my weight fell down just a little bit, like a pound or so this week on average. So my coach added 15 grams of carbs, which is exciting. And I also, which I guess I kind of expected that because I've been at the same macros for like probably the past 5 or 6 weeks, just because we've been in a really good spot. You know, you don't need to change everything, or you don't need to change something every week if that's the case. So I am now at 215 grams of carbs daily, which I am excited about. I love carbs. And my weight, we'll see what that does this week. My coach wanted to add some food because he really wants to take advantage of like the anabolic space I'm in and put on as much lean body mass before we potentially start prep. We kind of talked briefly today about just like some tentative game plans, but I think what I really want to do is I do want to compete in spring, and I want to do a regional show before the national shows start, because I want to make sure, like, I want to qualify, I want to kind of do a warm-up show, and I would love to start the national circuit, which the first national show is in the beginning of May. And so that's kind of what I wanted to do this past year, but obviously I wasn't able to get on stage until like late summer, and by that time most of the national shows were over with. So we're gonna do a redo on my original game plan this year. Everything happens for a reason. So when I like kind of, you know, get my ish together, and well, not get my ish together, but like when I have more of a definite kind of game plan for competing in 2024, I'll keep you guys in the loop. But for right now, we're just kind of like having some loose ideas. I think my coach and I are gonna talk about some different shows. You know, he was like, maybe, you know, you do some shows that aren't local too, and just like kind of have fun traveling, and that would be really fun. But obviously, you know, when you do that, you have to factor in the finances of like flying and then hotels, which is fine, but like I don't know if I, you know, want to do that for every show, especially if I'm going to do national shows, which are a lot more expensive in general. So we'll see, but I'm excited. Today's check-ins were great. Oh, and I'll put my progress pictures up here. I forgot about that. But anyways, that is my little weekly update for my progress. Doing good, feeling good. My training is absolutely flipping phenomenal. I feel like I keep saying that and keep talking about that, but truthfully, my training is better than it's ever been. This probably doesn't look the most appetizing, but I'm always getting asked to show more of what I eat, so you can kind of see it on the bottom. But what I have on the bottom here, the base, is coleslaw mix. So like nothing with dressing, but just like the coleslaw mix you get in the salad section. I've been buying that, and I'll microwave it and I'll heat it so it kind of boils down. It's a lot easier to digest that way, but it makes for like a nice little salad base. And then just for something new, I really like broccoli slaw as well. That's been another one I like to get. And then I have chicken, so I just have my chicken breast and I air fry them, and that's how I prepare it. And then I have peas and black beans. I know this doesn't really look like much, but I am a huge food mixer. I know that there's some people out there that like cannot let their food touch, and then there's the opposite people who mix everything together, and that is totally me. So I'm gonna mix all this together and eat it. But between the black beans and the peas, it's a really good fiber-rich meal, which is really important. And especially as my calories get a little bit higher in this reverse phase, I find that it's really important to kind of like to just really focus on lots of whole foods, and I'm really paying attention to like my nutrient diversity. So that's why I'm trying to kind of cycle in some new things here and there, because I have not had beans in forever, but this is a new thing for me. So anyways, this is what I am eating. Thought I would show you guys. Again, it's not appetizing, but it tastes good, and that's all that matters. It's my favorite time of the day. It is creamy time. So I'll show you guys after, like I already spun it, or I already made it. I'll show you guys the consistency a little bit closer up here in like a little video over. But my go-to recipe right now is almond milk, unsweetened almond milk, sugar-free pudding mix, and PEScience frosted chocolate cupcake protein. It is so good. I forgot how good that flavor is. Code lexiemait if you want to try it. It is really, really good, specifically for the creamy. But to get the consistency you just saw, I did one time on light ice cream and one time on respin, and that got me this beautiful, glorious, delicious consistency. So I'm gonna sit down, eat this. It takes me usually a little while to eat, like 30 minutes or so, just because it's like you have to eat it slow because it's cold. But I'm gonna probably watch a little bit of Netflix to take my mind off of some things. I just got some sad news from my mom that one of her dogs, and I think I've showed them a couple times in this video before, but her golden retriever, one of them, has to be put down tomorrow, which is like very unexpected. And I filmed this video before and I actually was like starting to cry, so I was like, let's redo. But she's only 9 and they just found out she has like really aggressive bone cancer. So yeah, and apparently she's just in a lot of pain. So I'm guessing that, like, you know, as a dog owner, you don't want your dogs to be in pain. You know, it's selfish to almost like keep them alive just to suffer, you know? So they're having to put her down tomorrow, which sucks, because I wish I could like go over there and like, you know, just hug her and say goodbye one last time. But I know she's getting really spoiled tonight before she crosses the Rainbow Bridge. So I'm going to sit down and enjoy this and watch a little bit of Netflix. That's like my nighttime ritual if I need just to, like, you know, unwind, take my brain off of something. It's Creami and Netflix. The Creami has been literally my go-to every night since I've gotten it. It's my nighttime ritual. So I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna enjoy this. Good morning, friends. So this is me, literally no makeup, nothing. Haven't done anything with my face yet. But good morning. I wanted to come on here and just continue on this video. So weird. I'm like really hungry this morning, and I've noticed the past couple days. So yesterday my coach upped my carbs, right? Because my weight was dropping, which makes sense. Like usually when my weight's dropping a little bit, I'm kind of hungry, but I think my hunger is like prevalent right now just because my digestion is so good. I don't know. And I'm eating a lot more like diversity and a lot more whole foods, as I kind of talked about yesterday. But anyways, hello, good morning. I am going to get changed, put myself together a little bit, and then I'm gonna make some tea. I always do that first thing in the morning. I have some tea on an empty stomach, and I also have a lot of my clients that do this too, or at least I'll recommend it to them. I find that if you have like tea in the morning on an empty stomach and you add a little bit of aloe vera juice is rich in potassium. It can be a really good drink for digestion, especially if you're somebody who maybe kind of struggles to go to the bathroom in the morning, or just struggles with like constipation. I know some people will be like TMI, but as a coach, it is not TMI, but it can kind of help to get things moving in the morning if you have like a cup of, I'll show you guys the tea I like, and then add a little bit of aloe vera juice, sip on it. It can kind of, you know, help to get things going. So I'll show you guys what tea I use. So this is the tea I've been using. It's called Good Earth Sweet and Spicy, and it is so good. I found it at Sprouts a few months ago, and it's caffeine free, which is what I like, because I like to get my caffeine from other things, pre-workout, energy drink, whatever. I don't like to get my caffeine from tea, but it's really, really good. Very natural. As you can see, there's, you know, those are the ingredients. Most tea is very natural, but I found this at Sprouts a couple months ago because I was on the hunt for a new tea, and this one was on sale for like $3. And I was like, well, I'm a bargain hunter. I'm like, I'm gonna grab it, right? I always gravitate towards the cheap things, and it sounded good, so I'm like, let's give it a shot. So I grabbed it, and what do you know? It's actually so flipping good. So this is the one I have been enjoying. It's kind of it's got a little bit of a citrusy kick, but like a little bit of cinnamon, and I really like the cinnamon notes in it. So I'm gonna wrap up this video, but before I do so, I wanna touch real quickly on a question I have been getting a lot. And I always do try my best in my vlogs, like even if they are vlog style videos, I always just wanna provide you guys with as much like information and content as possible. A little shameless plug, because I still get people that sometimes like don't know I'm a coach, but I am a coach for my full-time job. So if you are looking for a coach and you're interested, I always have my coaching link in the bio or the description box. But kind of speaking on the topic of, I gave you guys my physique update earlier. I told you I'm in a reverse diet. One of the questions I get a lot from like a lot of people, whether it's potential clients or just people that follow me in general, is how do you know how long you should reverse diet for? So reverse diet, aka the time spent away from a deficit or a dieting phase, right? Very important. We all need these phases. You know, some people I think almost fall victim and think that like there's some magical unicorn and they're just somehow going to get away without ever having to reverse diet. And hate to break it to you, but like there is no such thing. You're going to eventually have to reverse diet unless you want to like shoot your metabolism to the ground, right? So how long should you reverse diet? This is obviously going to be a very general answer, but I'm going to try my best here. And I always recommend that the amount of time you spent in a diet, ideally you want to try to at least spend that same amount of time out of a diet, right? Now granted, there are going to be some like, you know, some that's not going to be the standard for everybody, but that's just kind of a generalization. But I think it really also depends too on what your goal is, right? If your goal is to put on a lot of muscle, then you're probably going to want to spend a lot more time reverse dieting than somebody who doesn't need to put on muscle. So like for speaking in the sense of competitors, if you're, you're right at the cusp, you don't really need to put on a lot more muscle, then you're probably not going to have to spend as much time reverse dieting than, or out of the diet than, somebody who has a lot more muscle to put on, right? But it also really depends too on like the state of your health, right? If you come out of a prep or, even if you're a lifestyle client and you come out of a fat loss phase, if you're, let's say your blood work is completely tanked or, some internal stuff is just a little abnormal, obviously a goal during your reverse diet should be to get all of that to a really good spot, right? So it may take longer than you would want it to, but I think it's really important to not skip out on reverse diets. And, the last thing I'll leave you guys with is the way I like to explain things is the metabolism is like a sliding scale. There are so many people out there, and this is one of my pet peeves, when people are like, oh, my metabolism's always been slow. I just have such a hard time losing weight. Well, your metabolism has probably always been slow because you've always chronically abused it and dieted, right? Usually, I see this with females all the time. All they do is diet. They're always hopping on the next fad diet, and eventually they do that for long enough and their metabolism just tanks. So then of course, yes, they do have a slow metabolism. Yes, they can't lose weight. But that's a great sign that they need to reverse diet, because if they don't reverse diet, well, they're always going to be dealing with a slow metabolism. The great thing about a reverse diet, it's kind of synonymous for a metabolic building phase. You can slowly raise the roof, or the ceiling, as I like to say, of your metabolism over time by not dieting, right? So if you are interested, maybe, you're watching this video and you sense, oh, I do need a reverse diet, but I'm kind of afraid to elicit it on myself, because it's hard. If you don't have a coach, it's hard to sometimes put yourself on a reverse diet and follow through with it, So if you are interested in learning more about this, you can always inquire in my coaching, with my coaching link in the description box below, or shoot me a DM on Instagram. I try to answer those as well. But I'm gonna wrap up this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. As always, if you did, please give this video a thumbs up, share this video. It helps, it really does help with the algorithm, and it helps for my channel to be spread a little bit more. So I hope that wherever you guys are at in the world, you have a great rest of your day.